How many wins or losses? Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. It's going to be a short, quick video, me predicting the Seattle Seahawks season and record for this year's regular season. Let's just dive right into things. Looking at the schedule, the Seahawks schedule is looking pretty light on most ends. The middle of the season gets a little rough. It's got its patches, but I think overall it's not a terrible schedule. Now, granted, the Seahawks really, with a new coaching staff, it's going to be interesting to see where they can be dominant at and where they're going to be a little bit in the struggle column. So, diving into things, I believe Vegas has the Seahawks with a 7-win season, so I would say that's pretty fair with the unknowns with the coaching staff and changes to the roster. I think the coaching staff is looking really well, looking really good, and obviously there's lots of star talent on this team. But diving off into things, week 1 against the Denver Broncos, I honestly feel Seattle should win this game. Really, with Bo Nix being a rookie quarterback and the Broncos not really having much talent besides a few players, I think Seattle should be able to dominate this game. Moving on, New England. I think New England at home is going to be a little bit of a challenge for some teams, some, not a lot. I think New England's going to kind of go in the tubes a little bit trying to get a draft pick. So I got Seattle going 2-0 to start off the season. Now they're going to come back home against Miami coming off a mini bye. Now that's not going to be a great thing because Miami's got a lot of weapons and they're going to be looking to win a lot of games this year. So even though the Seahawks are at home, I think Miami's going to be able to pull it out pretty well. And then now you're going on to week 4 against the Detroit Lions at home, mind you. Every year, every time that the Seahawks play the Lions, it seems to be a shootout. It's been like that for the past few years. The Seahawks have been able to edge out the Lions just barely. I think the Lions are going to have enough talent and enough whereabouts to be able to finish off Seattle this year, so I'm going to give the edge to Detroit. Moving on to week 5 with the mini bye with the Giants coming into Seattle. I don't trust the Giants. I don't trust Daniel Jones. I'm going to give that to Seattle pretty easily. Going on to at home again against the 49ers. This is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a Thursday night football game. Under the lights, I just think San Francisco is a better overall football team. They've got more talent. It could be interesting to see how, again, over the season progresses, how the coaching staff will adapt with the players. But I still think San Francisco is going to be a hard team to beat, even at home. It's not going to be an easy team to beat. So I got San Francisco over that. So over 6 weeks of football, the Seahawks are looking at a 3-3 record from my perspective of things, being a realistic Seahawks fan. Going into Atlanta, a lot of people are high on Atlanta. I'm not. I've got question marks about the coach and some of the players on that team. They went a lot older with guys that do have experience, but again are older and regressing in their careers. They paid Kirk Cousins a lot of money, and if he doesn't start off really hot, there might be a QB question in the looming future. So Seattle's coming off of a mini bye as well. Going into Atlanta, I think Seattle might be able to edge out Atlanta. A lot of people are going to be probably saying that's ridiculous, but again, I'm not as high on Atlanta as most people. I think Tampa is honestly a better team than Atlanta, but that's here nor there. But moving on, week 8 against the Buffalo Bills. This one I think is going to be a lot closer than people think, only because the Buffalo Bills are not as much of a powerhouse on offense with the outside wide receiver help for Josh Allen. Granted, that doesn't mean that they aren't going to be able to score or move the football. Josh Allen is a premier quarterback, and again, it's going to depend on Mike McDonald and this Seahawks defense. I'm going to give Buffalo the nod here just because of their quarterback. At the end of the day, quarterbacks can get you an edge over many teams. Moving on, going to week 9, the Rams coming off of a mini bye. Again, this is going to be one of those close games. The Rams have been having the Seahawks numbers for many years. I don't think the Rams are going to be super great this year. I think they're going to be a playoff team for sure. They're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, but I don't see them being an actual wrecker. I think the biggest knock for this Rams team is losing Aaron Donald. Their defense is a big question mark for me. So I'm going to go with Seattle at home, even with their mini bye. Week 10, bye week. Great. Then they're coming into San Francisco from their bye week. Again, San Francisco being the juggernaut that they are. Seattle might have an edge here because that they're coming off of a bye week, but new coaching staff. The season, from what I'm predicting, isn't super positive. It's up and down, so I still think San Francisco is going to edge out the Seahawks and sweep them. But Seattle is going to come back home against a Cardinals team that has rested. I think the Seahawks are going to be, again, up and down, and they're going to be looking for some more vengeance in the division. So I think Seattle can edge out the Cardinals at home. Then moving on, going to the Jets. Jets are coming off a bye. Aaron Rodgers and that high-powered offense. The offensive line's a little bit of a question mark. Is that defense, pass rush going to be dominant? I think they're going to be just fine enough. They're going to be fighting for that playoff spot. I think the Jets will be able to pull out a win there. Seahawks still on the road. They're going into Arizona. Arizona, again, is one of those teams with the Seahawks where it's been kind of close through most of the years, and the Seahawks, again, have been able to edge out the Cardinals. But I think Kyler, the season's not going to be great for the Cardinals in my opinion, but I think the Cardinals are still going to be a fighting team. They're going to be a solid 4th team in this division. So I think the Cardinals are going to be able to split with the Seahawks. Moving on, Green Bay with the Seattle Seahawks. Green Bay with a mini bye. I think even beforehand, I'm not a huge Jordan Love guy. I still need to see a lot more from him. And now even with him with his recent injury from Saturday's game, I think it's going to be a huge question mark further down the season. So I think Seattle is going to be a more set team, so they'll be able to win at home. Minnesota Vikings, I don't really trust this team at all. I don't think their quarterback's great, and their rookie is out for surgery. So Seattle, I think, is going to edge that out pretty good. Seattle's going to end the season pretty solid. I think, again, going to Chicago, rookie quarterback, I think our defense can wreak havoc, and they're fighting for a playoff spot at this point. Last game of the season, again, this is going to have a lot of implications on seeding and or who is going to make the playoffs. Mini bye for the Seahawks. I still think that the Rams and the Seahawks, the Rams have had the Seahawks number for many years. They're going to be at home fighting for a playoff spot. I think they're going to be able to edge out the Seahawks just barely though here. So realistic here, I think the Seahawks is a solid 9-8 season for them. Now granted, there's games here that could flop either way. Like maybe the Seahawks are maybe able to sweep the Cardinals and jump up to double-digit wins. Maybe there's a couple games in here. Maybe they're able to split with the 49ers coming off of a bye week. Maybe they're able to pull that out, going to 11 wins. So I think realistically, a realistic goal for the Seahawks is 9 wins. I think that'd be a realistic bet. But going into maybe a high-end realistic, it would be maybe 10, maybe 11 wins. 12 I don't think is a realistic output for a team with a new coaching staff and new schemes. But there you have it, guys. I realistically think the Seahawks are going to have 9 wins this year, maybe up to 11. But we'll see. Week 1's a big telling how well we can play against the Broncos and a rookie quarterback and a less talented Broncos team. If they show out and keep showing out with these first few weeks, then it could be up from there. But all right, guys, till next time.